Cuba Pete. When I play the maracas, I go chick, chiggy, boom, chick, chiggy, boom.
Welcome to No Laughing Matter with Cuba Pete, a show that takes a critical look at the disparities between medical school education and society's growing healthcare inequities. Join Dr. Pedro Cuba Pete Greer each episode as he interviews the experts working to transform medical education and ensuring that future doctors are trained to provide equitable and compassionate healthcare for all communities. Dr. Greer received the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2009, honoring his dedication to providing health care to underserved populations. As Dean of Roseman University College of Medicine in Las Vegas, Dr. Greer is committed to creating a medical school of the future where students embrace the need to unite the heart and science of healthcare. And now, the host of No Laughing Matter with Cuba Pete, Dr. Pedro Cuba Pete Greer.
Welcome back. Hi, I'm Pedro Jose Greer, also known as Joe Greer, but today known as Cuba Pete. And welcome to Cuba Pete, No Laughing Matter, live from Studio A, live for us, pre-recorded for you, so enjoy that. We have a spectacular individual with us today. I am honored to consider him a colleague, the work he does, the way his mind works. He is an artist who has wrapped one of our cars. Truth be told, his son did it, who's incredibly talented like his father. Malachi Williams originally comes from Phoenix, where he met his wife, right?
Yep.
He moved here to Vegas in 2010. He is a muralist, an art instructor. He does all visual arts, including sculpture, and he also customizes shoes, which I found really cool. Recently, at the First Friday of downtown, he won a spool contest where they gave him a giant spool, and the contest was called Art You OK? And he won with the CAREousel, C-A-R-E in capitals, a soul. And he said, life is full of ups and downs, and you just have to enjoy the ride. He was also featured as the Artist of the Month for April, for First Friday. He is married, has 4 children, obviously with the same talents that he has. And he has exhibited his art in Georgia, California, Arizona, and Nevada. And he just wants to hit the other 46 states, which I think he will. You have a quote here that's wonderful. I believe art has a way of saying what can't be spoken with words. So I use my gift to spread hope wherever my work is placed. I am most pleased when I see younger generations gravitate towards creativity and making it their own. I hope one day my children, and to the same, fall in love with art and take it to another new platform. Well, obviously we see you have talent already.
Well, thank you.
By the car we just unveiled. Malachi, and in this community they used to also call him Malachi.
Yes.
That's for those of us that are of Hispanic origin. How did you get into art?
To be honest, I don't know. I feel like since the beginning of time, it was already in there. And I just kind of stumbled upon it and realized it was me. So I don't know.
And you are one of the few people that I have met that enjoys life so much. Is that because you married up just like I did?
Yeah. So first, because I married up. But secondly, I mean, what's not to enjoy?
I agree with you. Although people can sit here and give you a long list.
Yeah. But then at the end of it, they can remember the good times too.
Well, just remember, if you complain, nobody cares. And if you brag, nobody listens.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
It's having this wonderful attitude. You and I also talked about education and the importance of education. Tell me more.
So I think it's important to have education in any arena.
Right.
I think education has its place in everyone's life. I feel like giving our children a running start would get them a solid educational foundation, right? So to me, education is good in that area. From there, I think education gives you the ability to make a conscious decision on if you want to continue on and, be a working class or entrepreneur, or creative.
Or professional.
Or professional, So I think education is definitely fundamental.
Because I expect at least one of your 4 kids is going to come to our medical school.
I pray to God that happens.
You got it. And they can say, my brother and father did that car.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a beautiful wrap. Actually, the topic on this car, we've done mental health, we've done housing, and his is food insecurity with food deserts.
Yeah, yeah, which is a very important topic, especially here in Nevada. I mean, across all the 50 states, you're going to come across food deserts, right? And it's like, what is your role? What is your part? How can you help aid that, right? And so being able to wrap this particular car with the theme of food desert or food insecurities, it's important. It brings awareness,
Does all your art send a message?
Hopefully. So some commissions are just that, right? They're just commission work. We want you to put our logo like this, right? But my personal artwork should send a message. And even within some of the commissions, it's important to always have some form of, how should I put this? It should send some form of message to identify where you are now, and be thankful for where you came from, but actually encourage you to where you're headed to. So yeah.
That's very profound. That really is. And very important.
It is.
My wife's an art historian. So whenever I go to the museum, they think I'm a student and she's teaching me. So I go along. So I all I know about art is if you love it, hang it and look at it.
Yes. Yes.
So that's what I appreciate from it. How'd you meet your wife?
So
The true story.
the true story. Oh yeah, because for those of you who don't know, I gave him the other story, the story that's in my head. So I met my wife when I was 20 years old, actually, at a church dinner, or it was a church dinner. And as I was sharing with you, the part of the story that's true, unlike this nice looking suit you have on, I don't wear suits. I didn't at the time. I just didn't, for my lifestyle, it didn't fit. And so this particular day, I went and actually bought me a nice suit by Ralph Lauren. Bought me a nice suit and spent a pretty penny on it. And went to the dinner and it caught her eye. And she sat down at my table, and from there, the rest is history.
The importance of a well-dressed man.
Oh my gosh, the importance of a well-dressed man. Yeah, I love it. So that's really, I would say that it was all the suit, but then after I opened my mouth and started talking to her,
She stayed.
Stunning, so yeah.
If you were to come lecture at the medical school, what would you teach the students?
Patience. Patience. I think that's really what, aside from hope, patience. Patience is important.
That's a great message, especially since they got to take care of them.
Yeah.
You have an exhibit coming up the 24th, don't you?
Yes, I do.
August 24th, and where's it at?
At 33 Gallery. That's on Owens here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Myself, Chase McCurdy, Courtney Haywood, called Black Kings. It'll be actually my first exhibit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't do, if you have an exclusive canvas by me, then it's exclusive. I don't do canvas work. So yeah, I'll be displaying my first 5 of my intimate pieces.
And these are all canvas?
All canvas. All canvas.
What are their messages?
So it's about kings, or your perspective of kings. The angle that I'm coming from is I want to display a king's heart, a king's love, a king's folly. I think in this last one, a king's seal. The angle that I'm coming is literally the intimate part of the decision making that a king has to make, right? So I'm a father. You mentioned a father of four.
4 beautiful kids.
Yeah. So with me being a father,
They look like the mother, by the way.
thank God, thank God. With me being a father and a husband, there's decisions that I have to make. And I'm married young. I've been married for 16. I've been with my wife for 19 years. So I got married early at the age of 23. So from 23 to now, almost 40, it's literally decisions that had to be made in the darkest parts of our hours, right, that affected our future and where we are today. And so being married young, in a society that's totally against marriages, at least in my neighborhood, I'll say where I'm from, you don't see a lot of marriages, right? And that's not encouraged. So I wanted to display in this exhibit how some of those decisions were made and then the outcome of them, you know? So it's kind of hard to make some of those decisions, but as a king, as a husband, as a father, you do have to make some of those tough decisions, and then you have to live with those decisions, right? With no regret.
Now, you met your wife at a church function.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider yourself spiritual and religious?
I try to be. That definition has changed since the time in which I stepped into this arena, right? So I try to be as intimately close with God as possible, right? So there's a lot of questions that I have that we can't answer. Even with all of our degrees, we can't answer them. And so I try to find myself often talking to God about those subjects. So if that makes me spiritual, then yeah. But from that perspective alone, you know, yeah.
Very good.
So
Very, very good. What does a medical student have to know about artists?
ooh, depends on what field the medical student is in.
Let's say primary care.
So primary care, art. I want to try to approach it. That's a good question, by the way. I think a medical student should know about an artist just to know that there's different artists, right?
Right.
Different artists. You got visual artists, you got, we're in a beautiful studio right now, right? So this is an art form, you got dance, you got all these different things. And then as we approach as a visual artist, as we approach the canvas, we understand that every canvas is different. If I was a medical student, I would understand that every patient is different. And I would have to, in a way, study an artist to see how they would approach it. Because I can give insight to a medical student on how to approach a patient with patience, confidence, and with an intent to see the end result versus just while observing the beginning.
And it's more than an organ.
Say it again.
It's more than an organ. It's the whole person.
It's the whole person.
And that person also comes with a family.
Yep, that person has, exactly. So everything that this one individual comes with, the only reason why you rush a person to the hospital is because the family needs to save that person's life, because that family affects the whole family, right? No matter how insignificant that person may think of themselves, the family shows and displays, hey, you're important to us.
I think in a nutshell, you're talking about empathy.
Yes, yeah.
In other words, to all future doctors, listen.
Yep.
Listen and learn.
Listen and learn.
That's so important.
I think black and white show you one thing, and I share this with all my clients. I do. I can sit here, we could talk contracts, black and white, right? That's the letters. And then I can sketch you an image, black and white, right? But then once it goes on your wall, now it has life. It's different, right? And so a lot of tweaks and changes are going to take place on that wall that we didn't discuss here, and that's okay because it's for the better.
Let me ask you a question. When I buy a piece of art, I always ask the artist, how would you frame it?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Do you get that a lot?
Placement more than framing.
Placement, okay.
Yep, placement more than framing.
Because your pieces are murals. I mean, they're generally not frameable.
They're not frameable. They can be if you choose to, but I've only framed one mural, and it was because of the client. They wanted it, against my suggestions. They really wanted it, but yeah, it's more placement with me, more placement. I think that if you place a picture in the right space, then it'll shine more, no matter how difficult or intricate it is.
I have this beautiful piece that was just given me as a gift from our program, Empowered. Empowered is a program that we have that is for opioid and stimulant abuse, a use disorder, pregnant women, and recent mothers. And it's a big heart. It has the handprints of all the mothers and the footprints, a lot of the kids. It was done beautifully, but nonetheless, the message. The message to me is like what you're talking about. They listen, they help. Because your artwork brings happiness.
Yeah.
The carousel you did was spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
What was even more spectacular, what's the video of you doing it?
Oh, that's cool.
You know?
That's cool, yeah. I love the carousel.
And now where's that place's piece?
So that one is downtown Las Vegas, and it's brought out every first Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, it's brought out every first Friday. So
It should have somewhere permanent.
it should, and I'm thinking about actually doing so I'm growing. So doing this first art exhibit or exhibition is actually opened me up to want to do a whole series on the carousel, because, and I'm just being honest and transparent with you, it should get a lot more light. So in the mix of me doing it, right, it was just me having fun. Oh, listen, I wouldn't recommend anybody doing anything unless they're having fun doing it. If you can't have fun, don't do it. Don't do it. But I was having fun.
So in essence, you never work.
No, I try not to. If I'm working, that's a bad day. So, but I wanted to just do it and have fun. And I was watching all the other artists, you know, in their competitive spirits. I've never been in this arena before, and I was just going. And I could hear my wife, you know, she didn't understand. No one understood. She had a little grasp, but really until it came together, right? And to be honest with you, I didn't even know the magnitude of that carousel until it all came together. And because you're in it, right? Look, in our professions, we're in it. And we don't really see how it affects others until we step out of it and get that opportunity to actually observe how it affects us. Again, in black and white, it says one thing. It's a whole different emotion in black and white. But then when it comes to 3D and real life, you get a whole different experience, because now I can actually experience what I've seen in black and white. It's life now. I gave it life. Go ahead.
We had the unveiling of your car today, which we'll be showing. You'll see what he's talking about.
Yeah, exactly. You're seeing,
and you'll see his whole family.
Oh yeah, my beautiful family. Thank God for the family. Shout out to the Williams family.
Wow, look at that.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. Why did you decide to move to Las Vegas?
So, again, the economy. We was working for Chase Bank, me and my wife side by side, Bonnie and Clyde, loving the Chase, loving it. And I was doing business banking. She was doing general banking, and then, you know, our boss runs out the office, disappears onto a helicopter, and we never seen him again.
Really?
Yeah. And then the manager or the director comes out and says, hey, I got 30 days. You know, you can go to the Philippines, or you can take a severance package. Or you can go to Las Vegas, because we just bought Washington Mutual. So I was like, oh, we're going to Vegas. Thinking that we was going to be able to come out here and just pick up where we left off. And it wasn't like that. Everybody was scrambling. 2007, 2008, it was rough, you know. So we were part of that.
That was part of the recession.
Recession, yeah. And we were products of the recession. So I came out here initially to Vegas to restart, and we got stuck. But we didn't get stuck in a bad way. We got stuck, I think, for good, you know, in a good way. And Vegas has taught me so much. I came out here as a 20-year-old, you know, and now I'm gonna leave here as a 40-year-old, you know. So Yeah.
Well, you're not going anywhere. You're Vegas.
Oh yeah, I'm Vegas, but
But you're going to go around the world. But you'll come back. You'll come back.
What did you say? The other 46 states,
Right.
The
Yes.
other 46 states. So definitely that. But that's what brought me out here to Vegas. Trying to maintain my family. At the time, we didn't have kids, so it was cool. Me and my girlfriend just go out and let's start it there in Vegas. What better place?
What a great story. Those times, how did they influence you as an artist?
So at that time, art, crazy story, art actually was put on the back burner because art wasn't making money. A friend told me, he said, Malachi, you're a great artist. He said, but if I had to, and he's well off, he said, if I walked in the store right now and I saw your painting next to a stack of toilet paper, I would buy the toilet paper. He said, because you're a luxury, that toilet paper is a necessity. And so during the recession, we really realized what was necessary and what wasn't. And so I couldn't risk losing more focusing on art because it is an expensive practice, So
Now, are you an artist full time now?
Yeah, full time. This is all I do is art and interviews with you.
And boy, you're getting paid a lot for this one, aren't you? Now, you and your wife have a company.
Yes, Strokes.
Strokes.
Yeah.
Tell people how they can get in touch with you.
Okay, so you can call me and my telephone number. I'm just joking. I'm sorry, I'm joking.
You can give it if you want.
I don't have a number for it, but you can follow me on Instagram at watch_sparrow. That's watch, WATCH_sparrow, like the bird. Or you can follow me on Facebook under Malachi Williams, or for some of my primos, Malachi, So, so that's how you can find me. Yeah. And if you watch Cuba Pete, there you go.
Cuba Pete,
yeah,
you'll get the information.
Yeah.
We're blessed to have him in this city.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm personally blessed to know him.
Yeah.
He is an incredible individual, a human being with a real heart and a real family.
Yeah.
A happy family.
Yeah.
And a very talented 13-year-old son.
Yes.
Now, what is his name again?
Ashton Lakai.
There you go. The up and coming.
Yes. He is the up and coming artist. He's a great artist. He is a great artist.
Look at the car and you'll see.
Yeah. Phenomenal, man. I'm so proud of that guy.
A true father. And admitting that he married up, a true husband. Malachi, thank you so much for what you do. Most of all because of the joy that your art spreads. I actually met him at a function we were doing, trying to recruit first-generation kids to go into the health science, of which he had one of his murals there. I actually met him right next to the mural.
Yeah.
So, and he has impressed me ever since. Not just his spectacular artwork, but he as an individual.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for making the world better.
Thank you.
And is there any message you'd like to send out to the world?
Just be patient with each other, Sit with someone for a minute or two and have a conversation.
You mean decency?
Yeah.
And to listen.
Yeah.
Well, from Studio A in Las Vegas, this is Cuba Pete saying, Malachi, thank you for what you do. And the great thing is just not what he does, but he leaves that imprint of art that we could look at every day. And as your car drives around the city helping people, everybody will know. And there's a UR code on there too. You have a video on there, I think.
Yeah.
So, as if my generation even knew what a UR code was. But anyways, it's a thing with a bunch of dots. Just put your phone on it.
Yeah.
And from Studio A in Las Vegas, it's time to say goodbye. We'll see you on the next show. And by the way, he's coming back.
Thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, please subscribe, like, and comment on your favorite podcast platform. If you'd like to support the groundbreaking work that Dr. Greer is doing at the Roseman University College of Medicine, please donate at the link below. Thanks for tuning in to No Laughing Matter with Cuba Pete, as together we work to unite the heart and science of healthcare to serve all in our communities. See you next time.